Hi, team. I'm Fitz Kohler, your very noisy race announcer and host of the OC Marathon Show. And welcome. Tonight we have an incredible game plan for you. We're going to share all the fun things there is to do in the OC. So if you're watching and you're already registered, I know you're looking forward to joining us that weekend, not just on the course and at the expo, but getting into the town and eating the great food and shopping and doing the other fun things there is to do. And if you haven't registered, what in God's earth are you waiting for? It's ocmarathon.com. We have a OC 5K on November 6th, OC Half Marathon on November 7th, and you can actually register for them both. That's the combo crush. But we have an incredible weekend plan full of running and funning and music and dancing and eating and all sorts of great things. So I'm going to bring in the crew and we're going to tell you about all the other stuff to do. And I'm going to start with the one and only Mr. Gary Kutcher, our race director. Hey, Gary.
Well, good afternoon, Fitz, or good evening for you. How are you doing?
Very good. It's
I guess it's for evening for us too.
It's evening everywhere, unless you're in Hawaii. But lucky them, right?
Exactly.
All right.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm so happy. Every time I get to be with you and talk about the OC and live the race announcer life, I feel like a happy person.
Yeah, I think this is a great topic. We have so many people that come in from everywhere, and even a lot of people that are locals that don't take advantage of all the great things that are here. So to have the true specialists be able to help us out with those things is, I think, great for everybody.
Yeah, and the other thing is I've been announcing your race since 2014, and every time I come, I always pick something new to do outside of the race. And so I'm excited to learn about what my next adventure will be. So great. I'm going to bring on Amanda Kleem. Amanda Kleem, she is Director of Sales for Visit Newport Beach, our beautiful start line city. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, guys. How are you tonight?
Awesome. We're doing wiggly arms again, the wiggly arms.
We don't have to do that.
All right. And next up, we're going to bring in Paulette Lombardi Free. She is the president of Travel Costa Mesa, our beautiful finish line city. Hey, Paulette.
Hey, guys. Good to see everybody.
Oh, we're happy to have you. So listen, this is the deal is Amanda actually has somewhere very fabulous to be. So I want to start by targeting Newport Beach. I mean, OC in general has so much to do, but Amanda, tell us a little bit about your great city of Newport Beach.
Certainly, I'm glad to. It's one of my favorite topics. Thank you, Fitz. You know, it's a beautiful coastal oasis. I'm sure you probably have many runners who make this a really valued tradition to look forward to. So those who have been here, I'm kind of preaching to the choir. But, you know, Newport Beach is an outdoor enthusiast mecca. And especially for those who are physically active, there are great natural areas and fun little beaten path places to explore. So we're really excited to showcase the city.
Yeah, and you touched on what we talk about a lot in the running industry is racecations. We have people that get on planes and bounce around the country seeking out athletic adventure. So Gary, we touched on a little bit before we went live, but what percentage of our athletes are from out of town, not in the OC?
We have this year's a little bit different with travel is down a little bit for us all right now, but we typically have about 43% are from Orange County, and really 93% are from California. But that still leaves us in most years we get between 15 and 20 countries, which it's usually onesie twosies as far as people coming in, but from all over the place, and then typically 46 to 48 states. So we really are pretty well represented everywhere. Again, not big numbers except for Arizona and Nevada, Texas, and Illinois are both big contingents of runners that come here. But really, 93% are from California, and a lot of them are outside of Orange County. So we want to make sure that they get to see what all we do here we have.
Yeah. For anyone who's looking to escape their circumstances right now, the OC is a really, really good choice, right?
Oh, yes. I'll just leave it at that. OC is a great place to come and feel fairly normal.
Absolutely. So for our viewers, feel free to use the comments section wherever you are, Facebook or YouTube. If you have questions, comments, we want to hear from you. We're going to be doing some great giveaways. to the middle and end of the show. But for right now, Amanda, you touched on some of the great things for the athletic adventurer to do in Newport Beach. Specifically, where can we go and what should we do?
Well, one of the great things about the OC Marathon is you've already established such a great race course. So, you'll already get a flavor of the OC on the run, whether that be for the 5K, the half, or the full. And, if you want to do some fun warm-ups or cool downs pre or post, we can offer some additional really scenic trails for you to look at. One that comes to mind is on the Back Bay Trail, and that is actually around a gorgeous estuary that is fed by our local mountains. So it's a mix of fresh water and then salt water that comes from the Newport Beach Harbor. And that is home to so many endemic species of plants and animals you'll see nowhere else. And it's interesting because we're such a cosmopolitan town, but in the heart of our community, you feel like you're a million miles away from civilization when you're on that Back Bay Trail. So to do the whole loop, that's about 10 miles. But you can obviously park at many different locations along that loop and just do switch back and forth to whatever length you feel comfortable with or to work out the kinks. And that is definitely a wonderful place where we'll see gorgeous birds, unique plant life, and of course the fresh ocean breezes.
Now, you mentioned ocean. You're oceanside. So what can we do as a visitor? I mean, I'm not coming with my own boat. So how do I get out on the ocean in the OC?
There's many great ways to do that. Of course, we have the beachfront, and there's actually a full promenade right on the sand that is great for recreation, either, again, jogging, walking, or we have wonderful bike rentals. And that path can go up and down the coast for 12 full miles. And when you're riding down that path, you see everything that's quintessential California, from surfers to beach volleyball, fun little snack shops, and, little dive bars too, if you want to reward yourself after the race for all the training you've done. So that's a fun place just to spend the afternoon exploring and, again, appreciating the waves and the ocean breezes. In addition, our harbor is a really wonderful attribute. In fact, Newport Beach boasts the largest pleasure craft harbor west of the Mississippi. So a great way to get out on the harbor is what we call on a Duffy Boat. So Duffy is kind of a trade name, but basically they're little electric boats that can hold about 10 passengers. And it's kind of like a floating golf cart, if you will. Floating golf cart limousine, because they are very upscale, but easy to drive. If you can drive a golf cart, you can drive a Duffy boat. And that's a really fun way to cruise past all the beautiful homes and the waterfront restaurants and just the lifestyle recreation in Newport, just like a local would.
So I've actually been out boating. We took off from Balboa Island, which is spectacular. And I've seen some Duffy boats. They're very cute, very fun. They remind me of something maybe Popeye would cruise around in. And then if people don't know, the OC, I mean, Newport Beach especially is very posh, very upscale. It's just absolutely beautiful. Are people going to run into Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston? Probably not together when they're in the OC. Every setting is like.
Oh, that sounds like an episode of The Real Housewives of the OC. That would be big. Filming episode. There is definitely some star power in Newport Beach. In fact, we have a fun nickname, kind of our trivia, is that, back in the golden era of the silver screen, Newport Beach was the retreat place for Hollywood's elite. And, that's one of the reasons why John Wayne Airport is named John Wayne Airport, because of John Wayne's residency here in Newport Beach. But still to this day, there are many athletes, especially, that have made their home in Newport Beach. But we kind of have the nickname the Hamptons of Hollywood because of that lifestyle of just getting away from it all and enjoying the beauty and the good life. So, there are many shows that are filmed in the area too. I mentioned, obviously, kind of tongue-in-cheek, The Housewives, but I have run into several of them just out and about. And if you're a shopper, the best place to see a star sighting would likely be at Fashion Island, which is our outdoor shopping mecca directly across the street, really, from the start line of the race.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. Our start line wraps around Fashion Island with the tall palm trees. It's very California, very beautiful. But I've done some shopping in there, and there's some very high end, probably not going to buy anything when I walk inside stores. And then there's some regular Jill's and Jane's and Joe's type stores. So it's a fun place with some good food too. Food, Newport Beach. Give me 3 different specific restaurants or bars people should go to for breakfast, lunch, dinner, cocktail. What do you recommend? Local flavor.
Okay, local flavor. Well, again, you just mentioned Fitz, and thank you so very much for talking about Newport Center Drive, which obviously encompasses the race start. That circle is around Newport Center Drive and Fashion Island, and there are over 40 great eateries right in that central area. One of them that is kind of a local favorite is an Irish pub called Muldoon's, and they often have live music on the weekends. And if you've ever been to Ireland, it's pretty darn authentic in terms of the type of vibes of the music that they get. They're throwing darts, serving some cold Guinness. And of course, the menu too has some traditional favorites that an Irish pub too should have. So I think that's a really fun vibe right there. Also, if you want to treat yourself, there's wonderful food. The celebrity chef scene is really starting to take off in Newport Beach. So many people might be familiar with the name Nobu. We have a Nobu restaurant that's new, a new Nobu, right on the harbor. And that is located in the Lido Marina Village area. And so not only do you get incredible sushi with a celebrity chef, but incredible views of the harbor and the waterfront too. So those would be a couple of my favorites.
Absolutely. And what about breakfast? Because runners love breakfast out.
The best big burrito in the area is at a little place in the village of Corona del Mar, which is in Newport Beach. Newport has a lot of different neighborhood districts. And Corona del Mar is on, the famed Pacific Coast Highway stretch. But it is a little bit of a hole in the wall. And it's called Rose's Donuts. But they serve so much more than donuts. And they have the best burritos in town. Also, just down from there is a little place with an outdoor patio that's very organic with juices and farm-to-table type fare. And that place is called Zinc, Zinq. And that's also in the Corona del Mar area.
I love it. I've actually been typing in the names of these places as you speak. I'm sure I'm butchering the spelling of many of them as we go. So my apologies to those restaurants. But people need some good advice when they show up in a new town. Instead of just yelping everything, it certainly makes a difference when someone points to you and says, Rose's Donuts. Yum. Mm-hmm. Burritos. Who would expect to have burritos at Rose's Donuts?
Absolutely. Fun little surprises.
Absolutely. Gary, what else do you think about Newport Beach? What other information should we dig out of Amanda before we have to kick her out?
Well, she touched on Corona del Mar and what's so fitting about that. We start at Fashion Island, but we go down as we're heading down MacArthur, we're seeing just the most beautiful ocean view between mile 1 and mile 2. And then we turn left on Pacific Coast Highway. And the next 1.5 miles is all done through Corona del Mar. And you hit Orchid and then you hit, the ocean front. And it's on Ocean Drive, and it's just gorgeous. The beautiful homes, the look out to the ocean, and then you're looking down at the Wedge. The Wedge is a real famous surfing bodyboarding, but it's most famous about the kind of wave that it is. I have a son that's a surfer, and he scares the heck out of me every time he goes down to the Wedge. But that's a great thing. If the waves are ever, if someone's traveling to the OC. And there has been a storm or there's a south swell, the Wedge could be one of the most exciting things to go see. You see these guys doing just some crazy things on these waves that crash literally on the sand, and so it's pretty crazy down there. There's a lot of other things. I mean, you mentioned a little bit with the shopping. There's a lot of smaller shops in Newport Beach as well. Some great places to stay as well. the eateries, great golf. So I think there's just a lot of great things to do in Orange County. And I think it's access. Both Orange County, Costa Mesa, and Newport Beach are so accessible to everything else that Orange County has to offer, and even Southern California. So that's why this is such a great mecca for people to visit.
Absolutely. And you actually have some great spas there in Newport Beach.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and listen, Catalina Island is just 26 miles off the coast. You can get on one of the boats that head out there. I mean, 4 times a day, 3 times a day. I don't know how many times a day they have routes going out there, but that's a great, if someone's here and has an extra day staying here, or they're from someplace else in Southern California, take the time and take a boat ride out to Catalina. It's a really cool island that is accessible so quickly, and there's so many fun things to do out there.
It's very European, very beautiful. It feels like you're maybe on the coast of Italy when you go to Catalina.
Okay, get off on the trails back there, and you'll see buffalo that have been there since the movie days. There was a movie that's going to be shot years and years. I mean, I don't think in the 40s. I don't even know. And they brought some buffalo out there that it was never intended to be an island full of buffalo, but that's what it is now. There's a lot of them there.
Could be worse. All right, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Is there anything else you wanted to add before you go?
Just the fact that we're thrilled to have this tradition and partnership, and I just love the spirit and resiliency. I think that this year is going to be amazing because we've got so many people who have just been looking forward to this for so long. So we're just thrilled to be welcoming everyone, and we look forward to being of service and making it a really special experience for all. So thank you all so much.
And your website.
Yes, that's a good thing to highlight. It's very easy to remember, www.visitnewportbeach.com. And it's a wealth of information about everything going on in our community. It also breaks things up into some of the neighborhood districts that you might be staying in. So depending upon what hotel you might have your lodging at, there's so many things to do that are walkable. And we're a very user-friendly community. So even if you venture down a path less traveled, have no fear. You're just going to discover something new and exciting that a local would share with you in Newport.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Back to your soiree.
Thank you, guys. Best
All right, thank you so much, Amanda.
Bye, guys. All right. Paulette, thank you for your patience.
Of course. Great to be here and so excited to finally talk about the OC Marathon.
It's been too long, right?
Absolutely. Too long.
So before we start talking about Costa Mesa and the other wonderful things to do with the OC at large is viewers, feel free to use the comment section, share your favorite things to do in the OC. So if someone like me from Florida is coming in, what should I do? Where should I eat? What show should I watch? So use the comment section and help us all out because your feedback counts too. So Paulette, give us a lowdown on Costa Mesa, our beautiful finish line city.
Oh my gosh. I love talking about this city. It's so exciting. So much to do. When you talk about food right away, I'm just like, oh yeah, let's talk about food. Well, before I go into that, that's my favorite topic. Costa Mesa is right up against, in between 2 cities, Huntington Beach, which probably a lot of people know of, and Newport Beach. But a little less known is Costa Mesa. So we're known as the City of the Arts, and that is primarily because of this absolutely gorgeous campus called Segerstrom Center for the Arts. So we're really happy that, the arts is coming back. As you know, it was hit so hard, as was the hospitality industry. So we're excited because, shows are coming and we're going to start to see people on that beautiful campus. So we just can't wait. We can't wait to host them and get them back and say hello again and just, get back to normal.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly bring a ton of people to the area that love to spend money and eat food and go to shows. So specifically, so let's start with our athletic folks, which is basically everybody.
I'll jump in real fast with regards to what Paulette just kind of touched on. Is we don't have the marathon this year. We'll have it back on May 1st of 2022, but mile 17 of the marathon course goes right through the Segerstrom Performing Arts Center, the Center of the Arts, around the South Coast Repertory. It goes across the bridge that takes you into South Coast Plaza. So that is where our course goes, and it's so beautiful. There's an amazing sculpture that we go around, and I think it's just such a visual part of our course. And to know that the amazing art that's also produced there it's just fun for us to be a part of that.
And you actually had a designation from Men's Journal magazine. Tell us about that, Paulette.
Yeah. Well, we have all this great outdoor art, and that is everywhere that Gary said, in and around Segerstrom Center for the Arts. But the National Men's Journal magazine recently listed the city of Costa Mesa among its top destinations for outdoor art. So that is more the mural side of our city. So we have these gorgeous murals in and about the city, like at Triangle Square, a beautiful mural from Aaron Glasson called the Costa Mesa Bloom mural. They're just all over the place. We have Dolly Parton murals.
Right there. That's it. She's iconic. She's my favorite.
Yes. I mean, you can make an afternoon of it just going to visit all the different murals. That one's off of 19th Street, and it's located right by Strut Bar. Actually, it's one of the walls of their buildings. We have Shepherd Ferry's Welcome Home, which is off of Baker Block. It is literally like on the side of their building, and it's gorgeous. So yeah, we're really excited about that. And the city keeps adding more, which is even more fun for us. And a couple of Kobe Bryant murals as well. And even in the parks, a fun fact about Costa Mesa is that we have about 32 parks in our city. I don't know if a lot of people know that. It's kind of a lot. And, in and throughout those parks too, we have murals there as well, right by T. Winkle and our Costa Mesa skate park. So lots to see and do for that active person, for sure.
So, Paulette, if people come to town with children, what is your favorite park? What's the number one park you would tell a parent with 2 young kids to go to?
Oh my gosh. Okay, 2. T. Winkle Park, because they have a skate park. And if you have young ones that are adventurous and they're going to take their skateboard, that is the perfect park to go to. And then I would have to say a new park called Lions Park, which is this newly dedicated park right off of 19th Street that has all kinds of great apparatus for active kids. Has this gigantic airplane that kids can sit in, and just all types of things. And it's close to Triangle Square as well, so lots to see and do down there. But those are the 2 that I would definitely suggest.
Gary, what about you? Have you taken your kids to any of those parks?
Well, I'm a little bit older, so my kids now are 21 and 18, and so I actually, Paulette, would put it this way: mile 21 water station is at Moon Park, and Moon Park is off of the Santa Ana River Trail that we actually have about 1.5 miles of our course on, the marathon course. We have a great water station there every year that always has kind of an aliens theme. They dress up as little aliens and hand water out and everything. And it's at Moon Park. And there's this great big dome thing it's the moon. And my kids used to love to climb on it when they were much littler. So that was one that we went to a long time ago. So has fond memories for me.
I love that. I love that. And is Costa Mesa oceanside? I feel silly for asking this, but
no, I think that's a great question. We're about 1 mile away from the Pacific Ocean, so we're coastal. We're very close to the Pacific Ocean and the sand. So regardless of where you stay in Costa Mesa, you could really get to the beach in 10 minutes.
I love it. And then movie theaters, bowling alleys, are there
everything.
Absolutely. All of that, bowling, movie theaters. When you talked about shopping a little bit, of course I have to bring up South Coast Plaza. I mean, it's an international shopping destination. When Amanda was talking about Fashion Island and, potentially seeing stars there, that happens quite often at South Coast Plaza, I think, because I think when stars don't always want to be seen, this is a great place to go with literally every high-end fashion boutique store underneath one roof. There's 250 stores there. And you, like me, I can't necessarily afford our great Chanel's and Gucci's, but, they have Banana Republic there and Gap and things that we can afford. So a great, great mix, not to mention really good restaurants there as well.
Now, restaurants are important to people from in and out of town. What are the best restaurants? And I know there's probably a laundry list of them, but if you were going to tell me to go to 3 different places, if I were only to eat 3 meals, what would they be?
Okay, well, I first have to do a little shout out to 2 of our restaurants that earned Michelin stars, and they are the only 2 restaurants in Orange County. So Orange County has 34 cities, right? And Costa Mesa is the only city in Orange County to earn Michelin stars. So I'm going to start with them. Taco Maria, go to Taco Maria. You can go there for lunch or dinner. I would suggest for breakfast, I guess I started with lunch and dinner first, but I love breakfast. Old Vine Kitchen has a fabulous biscuits and gravy. And I know you can't have that often, but when you want to splurge and have something absolutely delicious, he makes everything homemade. And by far, that is my favorite place to go for breakfast.
And what was that name again?
Old Vine Kitchen.
Okay. I'm sharing this stuff just in case people need notes.
Yeah.
We're spelling stuff wrong, so ignore that. Go on.
I was also going to talk about Hanare. So Japanese sushi, and they are the other recipients of a Michelin star, and that's at the Lab. So the Lab in the camp is really a different shopping experience than South Coast Plaza. It's all outdoors, and it used to be a goggle factory. So really cool space. They have live music there all the time. And also like a little outdoor market as well on Saturdays. You just have to check our calendar at travelcostamesa.com. We got all the events that are going on weekly, and then in the next 30 days as well. It's pretty chock full.
I love that. That's actually a really great resource, a website with events and locations. That's fantastic. So
what was the name of the restaurant there in the Lab? That was the Michelin.
Hanare. So
Hanare. I wanted to see if Fitz could. Yeah. So Hanare.
Yep.
And Ray, R-A-E?
R-E. So H-A-N-A and then R-E.
There you go.
Thank you.
I haven't been to that restaurant. I have been to Taco Maria, so I need to get over there.
It's small and intimate, but yeah, you do. You have to check it out.
Sounds like a really nice place to take your favorite race announcer on race weekend after the
Okay, there we go. That sounds great.
the favorite one.
Get here a couple of days early and we'll go over there. My office is in Costa Mesa. The offices of the OC Marathon are in Costa Mesa, and we're right next to John Wayne Airport. And what's so nice about Orange County and Costa Mesa and even Newport Beach is it's located in a place that has John Wayne Airport is one of the easiest, best airports to fly into. I just came in from Cabo the other day. I actually took the time to have global entry and all that other stuff. It was so easy. I didn't even have to even worry about that. It was beautiful. I was in and out of there so quick. And it's a great airport, kind of that small town vibe, but you can go anywhere in the world from there. And then if, for example, a flight that doesn't necessarily go to a smaller airport someplace else, you can go to Long Beach. It's only about 20 minutes north. And then obviously LAX is an hour away, but it's really so centrally located, all of Orange County. So it's just great.
So I've flown into Santa Ana a bunch, and it's SNA. That's the code for that airport. SNA. If you do SAN, I think you end up in San Diego. So be careful with that. But it's also the best airport to fly in if you're going to Disneyland.
Yep.
Absolutely. So Disneyland's probably about 15 minutes away from the airport, Paulette.
Yeah, like 13, 14 miles. So
yeah, it's pretty quick up the road, and you have to, I think you still have to call to get tickets before you go there. But Disneyland's close, Knott's Berry Farm's close, Legoland is just an hour south, not even a full hour south. So there's so many different parks like that people can come visit. So anybody who happens to be watching or who sees this later on, who maybe not coming to the OC Marathon this year, plan it to come back and visit us again, and make sure you take in all of those great parks.
Yeah, what a nice way to include your family in your racecation. You bring them along. They tolerate cheering for you on race day, and then you reward them with a trip to a theme park. Or my favorite thing to do in California in general is whale watching. So where can
whale watching? Yeah, back down the coast. There's boats going out of the Newport Beach Harbor that will take you whale watching, and it's amazing. You have I think the waters have warmed just a little bit, so you're getting some other types of whales that we don't normally see. I think it's really a great day visit, and some great fishing out there as well.
Yeah, and so you can charter boats, not just the Duffy, but you can go out and pay just for a whale watching trip in the afternoon. When do people get to see humpbacks and blue whales on your coast, correct?
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's the water here between Catalina and the coast is extremely deep. So the whales, will be a couple miles offshore. I've never seen whales from the shore. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of dolphins. We see dolphins just all the time in the surf. So they're having just as much fun as the surfers are. So it's pretty special.
So cool. And while we're on the ocean subject again, I like to go play in the water. So can people go take lessons for paddleboarding? Well, can you stand up paddleboard in your ocean? Your coast is really rough.
No, I mean there's a lot of stand-up paddleboarders that will go out past the surf. Absolutely, before outside of the break. But right, it was brought up earlier by Amanda. The back bay has a large area, so you could do stand-up paddleboarding back in the dunes area, and so that's a great place to visit as well. And so the dunes has a number of different vendors there that you can get paddle boards, you can get Duffys there as well, or other boats. There's lots of different activities that you can do on the water in that area. Surfing lessons are available all over the place as well.
I love that. And then do you have lakes and rivers in your area?
Have
lakes or rivers?
There's Orange County has a lot of lakes. In fact, some really good fishing lakes. And rivers, most of the rivers here have been kind of captured and kept from going over their banks. I think I've seen some stories of the Santa Ana River years and years and years ago, before it had it was more engineered to keep the water in. But it's not a big river place.
Okay. I'm just curious.
There's trails that go along. There's a couple different trails that go up the Santa Ana River Trail. It goes all the way up into Yorba Linda and past. Yorba Linda is a great location also for the Nixon Presidential Library. It's a great destination that people don't think about. And if you're into history, which I am, it's a great presidential library also. And what I'll say also, Paulette mentioned it's the city of the arts. It's also known as the heart of Orange County. And so what makes it it's pretty central to everything. So there's great places to stay in Costa Mesa. And so by staying in Costa Mesa, all of these other amazing things that you can do here in Orange County are so easily accessible from Costa Mesa.
And so when
better myself, Gary.
and then so when people come, our athletes come to Costa Mesa, most of them will park their cars in Costa Mesa and get on a bus and be transported to the start line so they can finish the race near their car. So that's
we have quite a bit of parking at the start line as well. We have buses that will run the entire day. But yes, the majority of the people will park at the finish line at the OC Fair and Event Center, and then they take a bus to the start line. And that way, when they get back, they come back home to Costa Mesa, and their car's there waiting for them. And we have a great finish line festival with Flashback Heart Attack and just an amazing scene that we have at the finish line. In normal years, this year's we're still working on exactly what this year's going to look like, but we know it's going to be a return to fun, and we're going to make it happen.
And Gary, our expo, will the expo be Friday night and all day Saturday, or just Saturday?
It is. It'll be 4 till 8 on Friday night. And then on Saturday, we'll be starting at 9 o'clock with the expo and going until 5. The OC 5K will be starting at our normal finish line for the OC Marathon and Half Marathon. And it will be finishing right in front of the stage with a great 90s band playing on the main stage. So that's going to be a fun finish this year.
Awesome. So we're actually moving the finish line closer to the stage?
Yes. So when you're there bringing people in, you'll be competing with some great music from the 90s.
Right.
I knew you would love that.
I love that. Hey, you know what? I'm not a good singer, but I am a singer. And so God help all of you. If they're playing really good music, I will use my microphone for evil instead of good, and I will make everyone listen to me sing those awesome 90s tunes. How about that?
Paulette, you want to get up on the stage this year?
Oh, no. I'll leave that to Fitz.
I can dance poorly while I sing as well. I've got a whole shtick I do.
So what else do you like to do in Costa Mesa, Paulette? I know that you love the city. Every time I talk to you, it's so exciting to talk about the city. So what else do you get to do for fun? I know my wife likes to find some place to karaoke occasionally, or there's some great breweries in Costa Mesa for getting some craft beer. And
yeah, and the lab and the camp have some of those. And, I would be remiss in talking about the OC Fair, which, we have typically mid-July, and it goes through mid-August. But for those that are, thinking of coming back, and hopefully everyone would, we definitely, think that's a great thing to take advantage of. This past year, there was a little over 1 million people who visited the fair during that time. And, they scaled things back, and they had great concerts still and food vendors and everything that they typically do have. But, due to what was currently going on, they just scaled it back a bit, but still, it was great for everybody. So of course, OC Fair and Event Center throughout the year has so many different things, from things at Christmas time to a Halloween fest coming up the 29th and 30th, which is, if you're a beer lover, they are going to have beer and live music on the 29th and 30th of October. And my gosh, the name of it escapes me right now.
The Brouhaha?
Thank you very much. That's it. Yes. There you go. Geez, just so many different things to do. I mean, it's honestly hard to keep up as, different places let us know what's going on. Next year, they're going to complete on the campus of Segerstrom Center for the Arts, the Orange County Museum of Art. So as runners are going through that, they're going to notice this big, huge building going up that's going to be completed in probably less than a year. Wow. So, that moved from Newport Beach. So
out of all these things we've talked about, what are some great things that, even whether you've mentioned them or not, are free activities? So we got our oceans, we have our trails. what else is free for people who are, not wanting to cough up more?
You know what? Thanks for asking. Specifically the weekend of the race, just in case anybody is interested in getting a docent-led tour of Segerstrom's campus. They have that at 10 o'clock in the morning. You just have to go online onto Segerstrom Center for the Arts and sign up for that tour, and it's free. It's about an hour long, if I'm not mistaken, and they will host about 12 visitors at a time and take you around this gorgeous campus and tell you about the history of it. Another thing, too, that Travel Costa Mesa actually put together during the pandemic was our own little art walk tour that starts by Mastro's Steakhouse and kind of takes you through all these different installations with California Scenario, which is this beautiful acre over, I think it's like an acre and a half of tranquility. And you can listen to why and who the artist was and some thoughts behind the actual art piece that they put together for us or created for us. So again, that's on travelcostamesa.com under just Art Walk Tour. So that's free. We have farmers markets going on the weekend of the race at the OC Mix. So you could, shop for great artisan crafts and, of course, fresh produce. Yeah, so those are just a couple of things that were going on over the weekend, and it'll continue. We're getting into a holiday season. It's so funny that this race is in the beginning of November, right, which typically it's the first Sunday in May. So thinking about, oh my gosh, and we have the tree lighting going on at in between the Westin Hotel and Vaca, and just all this great stuff. And outside at the Arduous Plaza too, which is on the campus of Segerstrom, they have a lot of free concerts going on there. During the summer, they had movies going on. So learn how to salsa, learn how to dance, all different kinds of things on that stage. So I love that part of our city because you go there and you just feel like, where am I? There's so much art and these buildings are gorgeous and it feels like nothing that I've ever felt before. So
the moral of the story is if people show up in the OC and they're bored, it's nobody's fault but their own.
You bet. You bet.
Hey, Gary, your run for the Claus, is that taking place this year? Are we going live?
Well, I need to open it up right away. So I'm still just trying to get a little bit of guidance from University of California at Irvine, just to make sure that we have the clearance. I'm confident that we're going to open registration soon. I've been trying to see if there's any other venues that might work, but it's just such a great venue for us. And again, there's just a little bit going on right now still with COVID and the colleges here. So we're trying to wait till just another week or two, and then we're going to open registration. So maybe as early as the end of the first week of October.
And if people are not familiar with that, I haven't even attended that race, but it excites me so much because I love Santa Claus so much. So everybody shows up and they get a beard and they get a hat and they get a Christmassy shirt, and it's so freaking
fun. I think we're going to get some Christmas socks this year, and it's a great medal. And then we have Santa shirts and all kinds of fun things, and all of our volunteers wear elf hats because they're our little elves, and we end up donating a 400 or 500 toys to Salvation Army that ends up being part of the Toys for Tots program. And last year we went virtual, and we had over 40 states represented in multiple countries doing the Run for a Claus virtually. So that's a great event that's going to be coming up, and we'll be launching registration probably in the next week.
I need that race to take place, Gary. So whatever it takes.
I do too.
I love the Santa Claus race. All
well,
right.
It's just really important. It's just really important with regards to what we do for the Salvation Army. Last year was very difficult for them because they didn't even have the Red Kettle program going like they normally do. So we actually, through donations and through a portion of all the registrations that came from us, we were able to give the Salvation Army over $15,000.
Wow.
And in a COVID year, that was pretty good. We also, as part of that, we adopt seniors. We adopted over 100 seniors last year and did lap blankets and other things for the seniors. So it's pretty neat. So thank you for bringing that up.
Of course, you do so much good for so many people. Not everybody understands how generous and productive the running community is, and you definitely are the epitome of that. Taking a sidestep here, we have comment from the Peanut Gallery. Novotny, the other half of Team Noisy, who should be announcing this year's race. Actually, he'll be at the 5K with us. We're super excited. Says, I missed one stinking year, and you guys pile all kinds of extra fun. And oh yeah, Gary, go ahead and take your favorite race announcer out to fancy dinner. Yes, Gary. I'm making all this. Can Rudy come?
Can Rudy come on Saturday night?
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
definitely coming.
Well, he needs to get back. I don't know. We'll have to make it a special event. Yeah. We'll get you out here we need to get you out here for a run for a Claus and have you both do that. And then we'll make sure we do a special dinner.
Okay. That's a deal.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
I like that.
You heard it. It's documented. The end. Okay. Well, listen, we've got a great giveaway. Talking about Santa Claus made me think of Paulette and Travel Costa Mesa, because she is giving away a $100 gift card to South Coast Plaza. Fantastic. And South Coast Plaza, this gift card could work where?
That's the great thing about this card. So when we were thinking about, okay, what are we going to give away? This card is connected to Segerstrom Center for the Arts as well. So just in case you want to take in a Broadway show, that $100 could be used to purchase that ticket. It, of course, could be used at the Plaza, shopping, or even going to one of their 30 restaurants within that Plaza. So restaurants, great shopping, and of course the arts. You got it covered.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Very generous. So what I heard is shoes, Broadway, or food. I like that, but mostly shoes. Okay. All right. So our trivia question for this gift card, and it will be the first person who comes up in the comment section. And folks, a couple of weeks ago, someone said there was a discrepancy about who answered first. I'm receiving your comments in a particular order, so I promise you I will recognize the comment that pulls up first. But this year will be how many live OC marathons? So we're going to delete the virtual event, but this year, how many? This will be the blank OC marathon in person.
Wow.
Do you know that answer, Gary?
I do know that answer. That's a hard question, though. People have to do some counting on that and then remember about last year. And
okay, so Brian says 4. Is this the 4th OC marathon?
No, we've had a lot more than 4 OC marathons.
Don't give too many. Philip Perez wants to know, is it 22?
And we've had less than 22 OC marathons.
Yeah. Keep the guesses coming, guys. You can answer wrong and then get it right after. So
this will be the what year for the live OC marathons?
Yeah. How many, including this year, how many will we have had? Carolina says 19.
Carolina's getting a little closer, but that's still not accurate.
Do you remember playing the game when you were a kid, when you put something and you'd go closer to it and you'd say warmer, warmer?
You're getting hotter. She's getting hotter.
That was such a fun game. I don't know why we played that all the time, but whatever.
Carolina is going to keep hedging her bets, but she's not there yet. And I didn't tell her higher or lower either on her 19. So I'm going to keep her guessing.
I like it. Oh, look at her. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Philip. 15. Is it 15?
It's not 15.
All right. Carolina has 17. Is this live?
No, it's not 17.
Oh my gosh. This is great.
I think she's trying this.
I love the effort. Someone's going to get it. We got Brian, Philip, Carolina taking guesses.
Who else is doing this in there?
Back to 22 for Brian. He really wants it to be 22. Is it 22?
No, it's not 22.
Okay, because he guessed that before. So this is a second guess for Brian. He really believes it's 22. Maybe we slept or some. Carolina, she's getting colder. 13. I like this game. This is very fun for me.
Well, I'd like to see some more names come up too, but
yeah, if you're out there, take some guesses. It's $100 gift card. You can do anything you want with it at South Coast Plaza. All right, we got some 13s. Alfred Ho, 14. Holy mackerel. You've given everything but Erwin. I like the guess, Erwin. And finally, Carolina, she does it.
Carolina got it. So it's 16th year. We started in 2004, and then it was December 2004, and then it was 13 months later in January 2006. And then we went every year after that. And then although we are counting 2020 in our annual OC marathons, the in-person event, this will be the 16th.
16. Congratulations, Carolina Larson. Stacy got it right after, so almost be a little quicker on the draw, Carolina. So late. And she said, I said that first. Stacy, I did not receive it first. That's why I wanted to make sure everyone knew that my program is giving this to me in order. Carolina came up before you. So I'm sorry for disappointed her if you said it first, but we got Carolina's first. So those are the rules of the game. Gary, are we giving out a registration to the OC in 2022?
Yeah, we can. In fact, what I'm going to do real fast on that one is I'm going to go ahead and give Stacy Mosley a registration for 2022 since she, I don't know if it's your program or Stacy or Carolina who whatever happened there, but Stacy, if you'll take it, we'd love to have you as a guest at our 2022 edition, which will be the 17th in person.
17. Yeah, all these answers would have worked for next year. That's very generous of you, Gary. All right, so winners have been chosen. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And woohoo, there you go. So we make everyone happy. That's all that's important right here.
I love it. I love it. Yes, we got a woohoo followed by a yay, which certainly means we've done our job.
So just email us. Just email Kelsey or Gary at OC Marathon or info at OC Marathon. And all those things work. My email is pretty available to everybody, and that's good. I answer my own email. But yeah, so just email us and let us know what you want, and we'll make sure that we get the information over to you and to Paulette and go from there.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Paulette, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for all the great information. I'm really excited to get back into town. I'm gonna book an extra day or two so I can see all the things that we talked about tonight.
We need to do the art. I think that's really that going around and seeing the murals, and I think that's fantastic. And I see them around, but I've never taken the time to really make it okay, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go here and that list is available on Travel Costa Mesa.
Yeah, just type in Art Walk, and it's an audio tour, self-paced. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I hope all the folks out there, well, if you live in town, you definitely have to just make some time to go see this stuff. But if you're like me and you get on planes to go to races or you drive in cars, quite often the money's already been spent on the airfare. You're already in a location. So, it's your budget, not mine, but I'll spend the money to spend an extra night in a place that would cost me a fortune to get to and go see some extra things. And when I travel around the country to various races, I usually book one extra day to do one thing that's fun, engaging, enlightening. And I love art. And he won't like this, me bragging about him, but Gary Kutcher is a fine artist. Is that what we call you? Do you do fine art, Gary? His work.
I'm a painter. Yeah, it's that's what I do on my other side. So
and look him up, Gary Kutcher. He has
it's just Kutcher art or Kutcher fine art. So you can see it. It's there, but it's all historical, very close up details of of historical documents, and they all are talking about a different person and or a different moment in time. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And I just love art in general, whether someone's, taking photos or building things with clay or painting like you. There's so much to see, and people are so talented. All I do is make noise and boss people around. I'll stop by and, catch a glance of somebody's beautiful artwork on display.
Well, listen, I think that, and now the new art center is going to be built in Costa Mesa also. So it really is the city of the arts. And we're just so excited to have both Newport Beach and Costa Mesa as partners with us. And we love having people come from everywhere to see what we get to experience every single day. I like to travel places, but truly when I come home back to Orange County, it's like I'm living in a staycation, and it's pretty special. We're pretty blessed to be here.
Yeah, it's not hideous at all. It's
and we didn't even talk about one of the best reasons to come to Orange County.
What's that?
It has to be the best weather in the it has to be the best weather. And I was inland for a cross-country meet just a little while ago today. It was 95 degrees. And by the time I got to Costa Mesa, it was 83. And I hadn't driven that far. So it's pretty amazing. The ocean influence keeps the weather just so moderate 98% of the time. So I just can't wait to have those who aren't here all the time to experience what great weather we have here, as well as a great course and great partners and everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And again, if you're registered, we can't wait to see you. Gary's looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully you get a little time with Paulette, and she'll guide you even more particularly on whatever you want to do. I will be at the start and finish line giving out hugs and making lots of happy noise. And if you aren't registered, again, what are you waiting for? ocmarathon.com. We've got the 5K November 6th. That's an evening race, which is super fun. And then Sunday morning, November 7th, is the half marathon. And you could register for both, do the combo crush. You get great swag. And our half marathoners get a quarter zip, right?
Yeah, I'm wearing it. All that, so it's pretty cool. It's a white quarter zip. It's light enough for Southern California, nice weather. You just get, in the evenings, it drops down to about 65 degrees, and it's a little chilly. So having this quarter zip is fantastic for our runners.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And I love, there's some people say, well, you can't wear a race shirt until you're done with the race. I say hogwash on that. I love that you create such nice shirts, and our athletes actually wear them for the race. And it's just, it's wonderful to be at the finish line with so many good looking people coming through with their good looking OC gear on.
Oh, thank you. It really is fun. So, well, this has been great. Fitz, thank you so much for all that you do. Paulette, thank you for all that you do. And I just can't wait to have those people who haven't been here yet to show them what a special place we have here.
Oh, and, yes, Stacy wants to know, can folks who didn't run attend the party after without the VIP pass, traveling with friends?
The VIP is an extra add-on that you can pay for. If you are running the half marathon, you can add the VIP on it. If you're running the half marathon and you have someone who's not running, a special someone who wants to meet you there at the finish line, you can pay to have them be at the VIP thing there. And we have food, we have drinks. It's a lot of fun, and it's right at the finish line. So it's pretty cool.
And then, so the VIP tent is probably one of the nicest VIP tents in the entire country. If you're going to spend on any VIP tent, do it at OC. But for anyone else, there's some bleachers across the way, so your family will have a place to sit. And then our finish line festival is for everybody.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, so we got some thank yous and some goodbyes coming from Gary, Paulette, and I. We love you all. We're on the countdown. What do we got? Like a month and a half left?
48 days, 47 days, 47 days, I think, something like that.
But who's counting? And then if you need some guidance on training and nutrition, some of our previous OC Marathon shows, we've interviewed great guests who've given out great advice. So go back. You can find them on the OC YouTube channel and the OC Facebook page. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kick you all out and make you go to bed. It's 10:30 here in Florida. I got to go sleep.
We'll see you later. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.